That's it. They're lined up. And they're off. One or two of them just going slightly right, leaving the stalls, and ASSAIL wasn't hampered but was slightly blinded. Kaleidoscope Eyes with Musical Angel in the early stages. Musical Angel going on in the purple with the light blue chevron. From Kaleidoscope Eyes, green jacket Pearl of Windsor. ASSAIL held up behind these along with Miss Fascinator in the yellow jacket in this John Guest Racing British EBF Fillies Novice Stakes. Heading down the straight course through the first quarter mile, and it's Musical Angel and Oisin Murphy by a length and a half to Kaleidoscope Eyes on the running rail. Out wider Pearl of Windsor just going second, followed through by Miss Fascinator, and ASSAIL is last of the five. Very soon they'll be passing the 2 furlong marker. Musical Angel is nudged along, so too Pearl of Windsor from Miss Fascinator. Then Kaleidoscope Eyes weakening, ASSAIL now into 4th place, and Pearl of Windsor wearing away at Musical Angel. They run down to the final furlong. Miss Fascinator on the far side, almost 3 in a line here. Musical Angel is just in front. Miss Fascinator coming home well apart from this leader, and Miss Fascinator on the far side of Musical Angel, and Miss Fascinator is striding away now, and Miss Fascinator and Sylvester de Souza win the opener. Musical Angel second. A bit of an eye-catching run from ASSAIL, who stayed on well into third, followed by Pearl of Windsor. And they're off. Pretty level break. 2 Old Pals towards the far side of the white cap, just preceded now by Global Heat for Godolphin. Wide of those is Attila the Honey. Out very wide is Zoran in the early stages in the mauve jacket with the hoops on the sleeves. Houth is in the centre, maroon sleeves. Followed then by Wiki Wheels, orange and white jacket, True Legend, just behind 2 Old Pals. Tactician held up in the early stages, green and yellow making a bit of ground now. And then Red Flyer. Well grouped together through the first quarter mile, and it's Attila the Honey that's got across to lead, but joined by Zoran. Followed then by Global Heat up the inside of Houth and the improving Tactician. Then on the inside in the white cap is 2 Old Pals from True Legend, and 2 lengths or so to the last 2. They are Red Flyer and Wiki Wheels. Running past the 1.5 mile point from the finish, and that's the starting point for the massive race tomorrow, the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Here in the Brown Jack, sponsored by John Guest Racing, they head downhill on the run to Swinley Bottom. And it's Attila the Honey and Zoran stride for stride, 2.5 lengths ahead of Global Heat. Followed then on the outside by the favourite Tactician. Houth is next, 2 Old Pals, True Legend, Red Flyer, and Wiki Wheels is the back marker, be about 10 lengths behind the leader, which is now Zoran, who takes a definitive advantage. Zoran and Tom Marquand going on by a couple of lengths then to Attila the Honey and Global Heat and Tactician. And they're followed then by 2 Old Pals, the inside of Houth and Red Flyer. True Legend still held up in the orange and white jacket, just third last now, and Wiki Wheels. Down into Swinley Bottom, they're at halfway, they passed the mile marker and on towards the 7. Zoran striding out well, 1.5 lengths to Attila the Honey. Then Global Heat and Tactician. Houth is just to the outside of 2 Old Pals as they swing right-handed. True Legend behind these, Red Flyer, and lastly Wiki Wheels. It's pretty much uphill all the way home now as they head to the final 3/4 of a mile. And Zoran from Attila the Honey, 1 and 2 for a while now, followed by Global Heat. Tactician in a good position. On the outside is Houth making a little progress as they race on uphill and approaching the 5 furlong from home marker. Just in behind the leaders, Global Heat, as Houth makes a strong move to go into the lead now from Zoran in second. Then in third is Attila the Honey. The pace has lifted, followed by Global Heat. Then Tactician maybe a little outpaced at this stage. True Legend making good progress on the outside into the final right-hander, and Houth is going to lead them in here under Jason Watson. Zoran under pressure. Attila the Honey coming back though into second, and True Legend looking a big danger on the outside of Tactician, who's beginning to find his feet again, followed by Red Flyer, and then Global Heat, Wiki Wheels, and 2 Old Pals. Attila the Honey coming there strongly on the outside of Houth. True Legend is poised to pounce now. Tactician hasn't got many openings, not many options at the moment. Meanwhile, Attila the Honey, she's making the best of her way home. She kicks 2 lengths clear. True Legend is after a second. Now Tactician gets some daylight Light on the rail. True Legend coming towards Tactician though, but it's still Attila the Honey, the one to catch. Tactician is reaching overdrive now in the closing stages, and Tactician gets up to win. Overcame a few traffic problems to catch Attila the Honey. True Legend down the outside, and Wiki Wills back in. Lined up for the Chapel Down Handicap over the straight 7 furlongs and they're away. The Bitter Moose jumped out a little awkwardly in trails in the early stages. The pace not too strong by the look of things. Al-Shabaab moving across from a wide out draw. Red Maids in the noseband is pulling very hard as Amsterdam gallops on into the lead from Al-Shabaab, followed then by Billy Mill in a pink cap with Mama Yaz next to the running rail in blue and white. Behind these, smothered up is Musical Mystery from Northview. Red Maids will not settle. Then back to Tad Reeb on the fence in a blue cap. Susanna is held up with lots of cover, and towards the rear still after that slightly awkward jump, the Bitter Moose. Amsterdam then leading the way in his first handicap by a length or so to Al-Shabaab inside the final half mile. In third is Billy Mill. Mama Yaz is next. It's been a slow first half of this race. They're bound to quicken up. Mama Yaz on the inside of Northview. Out wider his Red Maid just behind Musical Mystery. Then Tad Reeb, Susanna and the Bitter Moose. On they go then to the final quarter mile, and now Amsterdam bids to up the ante, but joined by Al-Shabaab. Billy Mill on the rail. Musical Mystery is pulled out wide now, the purple and yellow jacket, and Susanna is making very smooth headway. Red, white hoop sleeves coming there, switch to the outside. Amsterdam challenged now by Billy Mill, getting up the rail. Billy Mill up the rail. Musical Mystery, Amsterdam, Northview in the light green, and now flattening out is Susanna, and it's Billy Mill who's doing best, racing up towards the line under the rail. Billy Mill wins from Amsterdam second, then Susanna, Northview and Musical Mystery. The John Guest Racing Handicap, 1.5 miles, and they're off. Wonder Kid gave a little jump leaving the stalls, but looks as though he was always going to drop in and cutting across in behind runners in the hands of Harry Davis from a wide out draw. In the early strides, chasing Aphrodite towards the inside. Table Talk is wider, the blue and yellow star sleeves. Hossam is close up in yellow, the white blazed Insanity. Then the favourite Mutawid in the blue and white striped cap from Mount Atlas on his outside. Back on the inside to Wonder Kid, and Burdett Road is held up at the rear of the field in the hands of Sylvester de Souza in the Gredley family colours, chasing Aphrodite and Table Talk as they make their way downhill towards Swinley Bottom. Hossam is third, then Insanity in fourth, and Mutawid back in fifth place on the inside of Mount Atlas, and behind these then is Wonder Kid, and restrained is Burdett Road. Into Swinley now, swinging right-handed at the lowest point of the course and on towards the 7 furlong marker. Chasing Aphrodite leading the way in this John Guest Racing Handicap. Second is Table Talk, third is Hossam on the inside, and they're followed by Insanity. Mutar with the favourite back in fifth place from Mount Atlas, and then Wonder Kid and Burdett Road. Making their way now, passing the 6 furlong marker, up the hill, chasing Aphrodite, with for company Table Talk in second. Hossam back on the inside. Insanity remains close up. Then Mutawed, followed by Mount Atlas. They're pretty well grouped together. Behind these then is Burdett Road and Wonder Kid still just at the back of the field. Heading on towards the turn now and onto the final 4 furlongs. They're just about to pass the half-mile marker and into the right-hander. And it's chasing Aphrodite from Table Talk in second. A length and a half back to Hossam on the inside of Insanity. Then Mutawed still travelling well. Mount Atlas likewise. Wonder Kid and Burdett Road less than 3 furlongs to cover. And they swing for home. It's chasing Aphrodite. Table Talk. Insanity out wide. Hossam looking for a way through between the front pair. Mutawid is now switching to the outside with a little bit of ground to make up. Insanity challenging Table Talk, chasing Aphrodite. Mutawid, Mount Atlas runs on down the outside, and Wonder Kid from the back of the field. It's Insanity just from Table Talk. Mount Atlas trying to join in inside the final furlong, and it's Insanity. But here comes Mount Atlas with a strong gathering run, thrusting down the outside, and Mount Atlas wins in the hands of Hayley Turner. Insanity second, Table Talk Mutawid, and running on Burdett Road. A nice comeback effort. They're off, racing from the 1.5 mile gate for this Slingsby Gin Handicap, individually going forward as expected with ASSAIL to his inside and King of the Plains right up the inside in the green with the lighter green epaulets as they run down the hill. Followed by Mole Arthur in the blue cap. Out wide is Miller Spirit. Yellow and red stripes behind ASSAIL is Saratoga Gold, and Dornoch Castle is the early back marker through the first quarter mile. Down the hill, and Individualism leading the way under Joe Fanning. From King of the Plains and Asheen Murphy second. Miller Spirit is on the outside of ASSAIL. Back on the rail is Mole Arthur. Then Saratoga Gold and Dornoch Castle. Heading down the hill still and into the bottom bend at Swinley Bottom. And Individualism by a length or so to King of the Plains second. Length and a half to Mole Arthur. ASSAIL, Miller Spirit on the outside. Back on the inner is Dornoch Castle in the yellow and black, and in the red and yellow stripes Saratoga Gold. Heading on now towards the final 6.5 furlongs and up the hill. Individualism and Joe Fanning. Always been a great rider from the front, Joe. From in second, King of the Plains, Miller Spirit on the outside. Mole Arthur. Close up is ASSAIL, then Saratoga Gold and Dornoch Castle. On now passing the 5, and the order pretty much the same. Individualism calling the shots here from in second, King of the Plains. Mole Arthur is close up. ASSAIL under pressure at the back, Dornoch Castle. Miller Spirit is close up, has been wide all the way. Then behind these, Saratoga Gold as they run now into the final right-hander. Individualism, can he hold them all off? Half length only now to King of the Plains in second. ASSAIL and Mole Arthur. Miller Spirit is now being pushed along on the outside, and then Saratoga Gold and Dornoch Castle has dropped right away. Individualism is now tackled by King of the Plains and by ASSAIL. Miller Spirit is out wide, Mole Arthur and Saratoga Gold. Individualism is just about the first beat of the leading pack as they race inside the final furlong and a half, and it's ASSAIL that's gone to the front. From in second, King of the Plains. Out wide is Miller Spirit and then Saratoga Gold, but ASSAIL has a 2 or 3 length lead. Miller Spirit is staying on down the outside of King of the Plains, but racing up towards the finish. ASSAIL coming right away under Sylvester de Souza, a double on the car for him. ASSAIL wins, tight second, very tight. King of the Plains far side of Miller Spirit, and then Saratoga Gold in fourth. That's it, 5 furlongs. And they're off. Horse Whisperer broke out well in the centre in the noseband under Sylvester, leads early. Bodacir ALCAZAN in the black and yellow going forward as well. But Horse Whisperer has the early pace and is getting across towards the stands rail. Right out in the centre is Appealing in the noseband. Bodacir and ALCAZAN disputing second, third. They're chased on the far side by Persian Blue, getting a nice lead from Appealing. Angel Shed in the maroon yellow star. Back in the field then to the big board. Little Guff is covered up, red and yellow jacket, and Sarah's Verse. Heading down towards the final 2, Horse Whisperer coming under pressure. ALCAZAN, Bodacir, Appealing, all coming there strongly. So too Persian Blue on the far side with Angel Shed. Little Guff now being angled out for a run in that red and yellow jacket. The big board, and Sarah's Verse getting stopped in a run as they race down towards the final furlong inside the last. ALCAZAN, Bodacir, Appealing, Little Guff near side, finishing off well the big board. ALCAZAN, the big board. They race to the line. ALCAZAN, the big board. ALCAZAN and the big board, probably in a photo, followed home by Appealing and Sarah's Verse.